Do you ever procrastinate? It may depend on how you value rewards that are far in the future. I'm David Stiernholm, and in this week's episode of the Struktör podcast, Done, I tell you about a new study whose results can help you stress less close to a deadline. But first, do you know that you can use the AI Microsoft Copilot to summarize your meeting notes, even if you don't want Copilot to listen to your entire meeting? I have an idea you could try, and I wrote about it on the Struktör blog, and you'll find a link there in the show notes. When you keep putting off a task without getting started, a proven trick is to break it down into smaller steps. But why? Of course, small steps are easier to take than a big one, but a recent American study that I linked to in the show notes also points to another interesting reason. Researchers Zhang and Ma at NYU assigned 84 test participants to complete a 7-hour-long task with a deadline 109 days later. The researchers wanted to see to what extent the participants procrastinated and therefore developed a measure to track both when the task was completed and when the participants started it. They also examined the extent to which the participants tended to underestimate rewards that are far in the future compared to rewards that are close. The reward in this study was simply the satisfaction of checking off the task, as it often is in real life. The study showed that participants who value rewards in the distant future less procrastinated, that is, put off the task more than those who give high value to rewards in the distant future. So if you're procrastinating a task, you can help yourself get it done early by breaking it down into smaller pieces so that you can check it off and be rewarded earlier. Do this. If you currently have a task that you know you're procrastinating, then give yourself an early reward by either pulling out 3 small tasks from the larger task that you can start on very soon or right away, or decide to work on the task for 15 minutes and no more, after which you reward yourself with something you enjoy and makes you feel good. A break, some fresh air, something tasty from the cafe. And start working on the task right away, or plan when you will do it in the next few days. Block off some time in your calendar and name the appointment so that you can set a reminder for yourself to do the short task you have committed to now, because then you get a reward. Because if you choose a way to bring the reward forward, you will procrastinate less, according to the results in the aforementioned study. You will avoid rushing right before the deadline. Instead, you will finish with plenty of time, and you can take a look at what you have completed to make sure it meets the quality you want to deliver. It's definitely worth it. Give me an example of a good first step to take on a task you have been postponing, but not anymore. I suspect there are a handful of archetypal starting tasks that we can use as soon as we procrastinate on something we want to get started on. So tell me an example of a good starting task for you. Share it with me in an email at david@stiernholm.com, and I'll see it. Thank you for today, and see you again next week.